This is the 2019 Kia Forte, and this one is the EX level. So basically, it has leather seats, it's got a really nice looking interior, and it's got heated and cooled seats, which is kind of surprising for this kind of entry-level car. The MSRP is a little over $23,000, and the overall feeling I get from this interior is that just because it's affordable doesn't mean it has to look cheap, because this does not look cheap at all. It looks like Kia has taken some design cues from a lot of luxury sedans to make this look as nice as it does. I really like how the vents, they're the circular vent. It kind of reminds me of the Alfa Romeo, the Giulia. And then the way the screen here sits in, and with the controls just below it kind of reminds me a little bit of a BMW. Kind of like the simpleness of a BMW as well. But I think it looks great in here. I'm really impressed with how this interior design has come together, and it works really well. All the buttons make good sense. Everything just works well in this car. The engine is a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, and it makes about 147 horsepower. So it's really not a super powerful car, but it does do really well on fuel mileage. That 2.0 liter engine is mated to a CVT transmission. Now, Kia calls it an intelligent variable transmission, the IVT. And I actually agree with them calling it an IVT because it's very, very, very responsive when you want it to be, which is really cool. When you're driving just like normal, like I am right now, it's really quiet, calm, keeps the RPMs in a good fuel-efficient range. But when you're getting on it, it actually mimics shifts, which is actually pretty cool, because from what I've experienced with CVTs, you mated to a 4-cylinder engine, is you usually have a lot of just weird, I don't know if I would call it drone, because it's not exhaust drone, it's just like the revving engine, the intake noise that they try to muffle, just sounds awful. But this one doesn't. This one actually, I mean, it doesn't sound cool, but it doesn't bother you. Like, I used to sell for Nissan years ago, and when the Altima had that CVT, when they first put that in there, the 4-cylinders were honestly very annoying, because it just made this very bad, like, noise, because the RPMs would stay in one range. And then when you got on it, it just kind of stayed there. But this one still builds and mimics shifts, so you don't get that annoying, just constant sound, which is very intelligent, which is why I actually agree with that intelligent transmission. So I actually, you know, in other cars I've talked about like not really liking this setup. This one's not too bad. It doesn't really stick up too much higher than the overall dash, so it's really not outstanding. I think it looks okay. It looks clean. It still has a good clean finish to it. I actually really like how the vents look. I like how everything just flows really nicely. All the touchscreen works really well. Everything's pretty self-explanatory with it. This does have Apple and Android connectivity to it, so you can do your Apple CarPlay and connect your Android device to it as well. And everything works good with that. The reverse camera is actually really nice. It's got a good big screen here, so you get a lot from it. It has the rear collision detection, so if a car is coming and you're backing out of your driveway, it warns you, which is really nice. It's done it for me a couple times in the week that I've had this car, so it actually works really well. You have driving modes as well. You have the sport mode, and as soon as it goes into sport mode, the revs go up and the throttle gets much more responsive, and it makes it a little more fun to drive. So like when you're in something like this, when you're downtown zipping through traffic, it's actually pretty nimble and pretty light on its feet, which is good. So I mean, the throttle response gets a lot more snappy. If you're not ready for it, it'll surprise you. Not in matter of horsepower, but just the throttle response being very snappy. One thing that I like really a lot with how these drive modes work is when you go to put it in the manual, it instantly goes into sport mode, and then you can play around with the shifts. And what's really cool about this IVT, the Intelligent Variable Transmission, is it makes these shifts seem just lightning quick, which is cool. It makes it feel like actually a little bit more sporty than what this transmission really is, which is pretty neat. And then the other thing that I really like about this little feature is as soon as you go back over, it just goes back to normal driving mode. You don't have to reselect a mode. It's pretty smart when it comes to things like that. There's also the displays. Everything that you do kind of has a little reactive display. So like when you adjust the wipers, you get a little display that comes up in here. It tells you where you've set it, which is actually kind of nice. It seems simple and like kind of like, why do you need that? But when it's there and you're adjusting things, now I know that I turn my wipers off. I mean, it's just nice little touches like that that make it feel just a little bit more refined, which is neat. I like little smart features like that. All the buttons, like the fit and finish, all the buttons feel nice. You have dual zone climate control, which is cool. And I mean, for the price tag on this, I feel like this car is really well equipped. You have heated and cooled seats, which is, I mean, cooled seats to me, it was always reserved for like your super high-end luxury cars. I love that that's something that's starting to trickle down into what I would consider an everyday fuel economy car, which is neat. And I was saying before how I feel like this dash has really taken cues from all over the realm of automobiles, which is neat. The steering wheel actually kind of reminds me of a Volkswagen steering wheel, and I like those steering wheels. I think they look good. So to me, this car, it looks really nice on the inside. The exterior, it's not a bad looking car either. I think it looks pretty decent, and I think Kia is just doing a really good job at taking design cues from all over the auto industry and kind of being inspired by that and making it their own, which I think is smart. They know it works. They know what people like. They're not getting too crazy with their design styles like Honda is. They're doing what works, and it looks nice. This little Kia is equipped with quite a few nice little safety features as well. It's got blind spot monitoring. It has a lane alert system, a lane assist alert system. So it doesn't actually like take over the wheel when you start to get on the edge of your lane, but it'll actually kind of alert you when you start to cross over the line there, which is nice. It keeps you on your toes. Overall, what do I think? I'm really surprised with this little car. Kia's done a really good job at showing that affordable doesn't have to look cheap. And this car drives really nice. It's got a good solid feel to it. It's not overly noisy in here. The transmission, even though being a CVT, isn't god-awful. It's actually livable. It does intelligent things like shift points, and they've done a really good job of taking that bad sound that used to come with a 4-cylinder mated to a CVT transmission. They always sounded horrible, but this one, it doesn't. You can actually tolerate it much more than I could in the past with other cars that I've driven. I like the dash. I really like the interior in this car. I think compared to what I've bid in, like the Civic and even the Jetta, I think I actually like this a little bit better than the Jetta's interior, even though it has this screen that sits on top here. I like they've taken little cues from it reminds me of the Alpha interior, and that's honestly one of my favorite interiors. So I like this interior. I think it looks really well. Like I said, the fit and finish is very, very nice in here, especially for the price point. When I review cars, I always try to review them for what the goal is of the vehicle. This isn't a car that I personally would want to jump in and go do spirited driving in. It's just not. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to be an economy car that is practical and a nice place to be, in my opinion. And it is. I think Kia has really successfully pulled this off. Everything looks nice in here. It feels nice. The way it drives very comfortably. There's a decent heavy feel to the steering. And like I said, the intelligent variable transmission works really well. It has little shift points. It works, and I'm really pleasantly pleased with this vehicle. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. When Kia told me they were going to send me a Kia Forte, I was like, I hope I can have a good review on this car. And I do. I really like it. The only little issue I have is that only the driver window is power, or is auto up and down. Like the passenger, you have to push the button, you have to hold it. That's such a tiny complaint, but I feel like does it really cost that much more to make that one touch down and one touch up? I don't know. I don't do that for a living. I don't run the cost analysis on that, but I feel like it shouldn't be that much. But small thing to complain about. So if you're looking for a fuel efficient sedan, compact sedan, this is good. I like it. I think I like it a little bit better than the Civic. I drove a Civic a while ago, back in 2016. I don't like the Civic styling. The interior is okay. I think this has a classier look to the interior. They've gone with simple, efficient, clean, and it looks good. Like I said, they've done a good job. There's the lane assist because I didn't have my turn signal on. They've done a good job at, like I said, making affordable not look cheap. It looks nice in here. It's a good little place to be. All the fit and finish is very, very well executed, especially for the price point. So I want to thank Kia for sending me this vehicle. It's been a fun week with it. I've enjoyed this car. It's a great little daily driver. I want to thank you for watching. Please don't forget to check us out on the Auto Show on Roku and the Amazon streaming devices. Check out our podcast as well, the Carguments podcast, where we post on my Instagram, the Carguments Instagram, to try to get everybody involved with the podcast. So check us out there. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. Overall, impressed for what this car is set out to do. I think it's mission accomplished with this Kia Forte. I really do. So thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.